what's up, everybody? This is Iron Mike, missionary guitarist, coming at you with another video. Glad to have you here. It's a special day. I got two of my homeboys. I got Danny Hernandez, guy I served overseas with in Iraq, and I got Leif Olson. He's a gentleman that I served with in the Guard at Fort Bragg and became good friends with. So how's it going today, guys?
Living. It's good. Beautiful day out.
Yeah. It's a nice day out. So I would like to say I have perfect timing and I planned this all out, but I didn't realize it was Armed Forces Day today. So this is actually pretty fitting and ironic that we're doing this video today. So
right.
Yeah, it's nice. So we wanted to kind of talk to you today and talk with everybody about specifically things with PTSD, which for people that don't know what that is, that stands for post-traumatic stress disorder. It's not just for people that come back from combat, but a lot of people can experience PTSD for various reasons. But the thing that we're hitting on today is specifically for veterans and for combat vets with PTSD. We want to bring awareness to it. We also want to kind of talk about it and just kind of bring some things out that you may not have known before, because people that are viewing this channel or subscribers of my channel, not a lot of them are former military. So it'll be kind of nice to talk about that. So some of the lyrics of the song I kind of wanted to talk about first, and if you guys don't mind, and then we can, I got some specific questions I'd like to ask you if you're okay with that.
That's all right.
Yeah. So the song starts out with the guy kind of being woken up from a dream by his wife. I'm assuming his wife, because he's having this really bad dream. And he talks about that he can hear the screams deep inside of him, like a siren piercing through his brain. He says, "Your insanity is my reality, crawling out of this nightmare every day." Can you guys identify with that? I'm sure you can. What was it like coming back from overseas the first time, dealing with the things that we kind of had to deal with?
Who wants to go first? Does it matter?
It doesn't really matter.
Okay. Yeah, I'll correct. I believe for that first summer for me, we got back in the summer, 2010, and first summer it was like a honeymoon stage when you first came home. I was pretty happy. I was glad I was home, and then months passed, I found myself being isolating from everyone, and to me, I thought that was normal. I just didn't want to be bothered. People were, just irked me, aggravated me.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to start working again, to tell you the truth, because I never thought I would have a problem. It took a while for me to realize that, and actually meeting my wife, which is one of my saviors, I thank God for her. You think you're normal, but you really aren't. You really have a lot of mental issues, but I think the military trains you so much with pride that you don't want to realize you have a problem, and so you hold a lot of that stuff in, and you just keep dealing with it until eventually you snap, and hopefully it's not too late for that person. You can seek help, but I took a while before I got help, man. My pride got the best of me, and I said, let's just do this. And it was the best thing I did. Honestly, sitting there talking to a counselor, it's like it took the monkey off my back. I just opened up and expressed all the pain I had going through. I didn't have, I feel like PTSD affects us all differently. And guys, they see more and have it worse. I have friends who just don't talk at all. For me, it was just being around people. I got aggravated easily, and then sometimes if I watched a war movie or something, I got a little emotional for it because it kind of brought me back to Iraq and all the stress, that we went through there. So the best thing was finally going to the VA and then I got married and became a father. I think that really saved my life, to tell you the truth, because I started to fall into dark places.
Yeah.
And I think, like I said, I think PTSD just hits us all different, and it's scary because you don't even know you got it until, it's too late sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my view about it, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate it. What about
You're
you?
better at this. Yeah, I didn't figure this out until like my third deployment. I came from my first deployment. I came home to a divorce. It was me alone for a year before my second deployment.
Yeah.
Came back from my second deployment. Coworkers were like, you're a little odd off from when we met you.
Yeah.
Got married before I left on my third deployment, and came back, and I was like, no, there's something wrong. Since then, it's been like, it's not full blown PTSD. You do have stress, anxiety disorders, neurological sleep disorders in my case, just from operation schedule.
Right.
And and it's a bit different. I just stopped teaching this year because medication was not keeping up with me and my reaction to poor little seventh graders who would find the button and then the wrong end of this. It's not good when your career is teaching more so than military that you lose it on some little middle schooler.
Yeah.
So my wife's a therapist. We're here in Ohio now. She's doing her PhD. So she's a little quicker to notice and go, we need to take you to talk to so-and-so.
Yep.
And I think in the end, whether PTSD or just anxiety stuff, the harder part is going back to finding what is normal.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I actually have one, at least compared to other people. They're like, that's what you do. That's what I do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's it. Like you said, it's different for all of us, the way we dealt with it. And me personally, coming back, it was, like you said, just trying to find that normal. I was like, Danny, with just not wanting to be around people, just very, very short, quick tempered. I would just snap at my wife or my kids just for no reason, just because I just didn't want to be around people. My wife and I, actually, our marriage almost ended because of the way I was acting. She actually sent me away to my sister's for several weeks to collect myself, because I just, we're so worried about, ourself and our brothers and sisters when we're overseas, to come back to normal life where, you have a wife and kids and nobody's trying to kill you or anything like that. It took a really long time to get used to. And I credit my wife, like you said, Hernandez, with being the one that kind of saved my life. And also, my church family was instrumental in helping. I don't know if I would have made it back if it hadn't been for my wife and my church family just to come around me and kind of help me. Kind of on that thing too, it's one thing that it says here in the lyrics that really just kind of struck me and just made me feel kind of how I felt when I first come back. The chorus it just says, "Man down, we've got a man down." This is the lyric that kind of stuck with me. It said, "Crying for help, but I can't make a sound. Trapped inside my own mind. I'm losing control of my emotions. Is there a cure for these wounds that I've opened? I'm bleeding out. We've got a man down." That kind of just hit me, because I kind of felt like that when I came back. Like there was so much going inside me that my insides were screaming, but it's like I couldn't make a sound to tell people that. And I think,
on that one, I'll say very simple. I am told, I am literally instructed by my wife, because she does this for her kid.
Yeah.
You are allowed to feel stuff, and I suck at that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have, I can be touchy feely. Didn't have in the first place, and I really don't have it now, you know, and so I don't get so much wrapped up until it's like already too much. And then it's like, I gotta stop whatever it is, and just, you know, kind of find a spot to disappear for a minute, you know.
Yeah.
And like I said, in my case, it not being, you know, a PTSD issue versus the anxiety stuff is it doesn't sit around in my head so much as what happens to other people. Like what went wrong with me, not a big deal. However, you know, on my first deployment, I was a 3-man team. I'm the only one left. That's it. Everybody else went home and committed suicide. So, you know.
Sorry to hear that, brother.
No, I mean, again, it's like, and that's when you go, there's too much, you know. When the hell did I miss all that? So.
And that was a good segue into talking about the 22 and our brothers and sisters that kill themselves every day because of PTSD. And Hernandez and I knew a guy by the name of Particular. We called him Pac-Man. Man, like you said, tell us a little about Pac-Lib that you remember. I remember him, but tell me what you remember about him.
I first met Pac-Man was, I want to say, Mope Station. I think it was Fort Dix, and we were riding on the buses. And Pac-Man, he told me he's from Hawaii, and he had volunteered to deploy with us.
Yep.
And my first thing I was like, "You're from Hawaii, and you're leaving Hawaii to Iraq. You're crazy. You're a crazy guy." And right there we clicked. We were laughing. And he was just full, like you could tell he was from Hawaii. He was full of that island spirit. He smiled just about for everything, even when we were in training and it sucked so much.
Yeah, I know.
Pac-Man was still smiling, man. He was a great guy. He had a great personality. I got to know him in the training, but when we got split up, when we went to Baghdad, I only saw him periodically, but he still kept that smile, man. He was a great guy. He was fun to be around. I had nothing but good things to say about him. And so when I heard the news that day, and it was crazy because we got the news that he was missing, and even when we got the news initially, that didn't cross my mind because he was a great guy, and I'm like, nah. I initially thought he might have got kidnapped for some host nationals, or he went off outside the wire. So as we're searching for him like that, you know, that didn't even cross my mind. And then finally, when he was found, that's when I was like, wow, that's a shocker. But Pac-Man, he was great. I didn't have no complaints with Pac-Man. He's the type of guy it'd be 120 degrees outside. We're over there, and everybody's miserable but him. You know, he was awesome. Yeah. I got no complaints with Pac-Man. He was a great guy, man. That was my views on when I got to work with him a little bit.
Yeah, he was our supply dude. He hooked us up. Any kind of new stuff he got in, he would hook us up. I remember that. Yes,
you're right. The little Surefire, the flashlights, all that good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. He's a good guy, man.
What about you, Leaf? Do you remember a lot about your team?
Well, it's funny because I got two extremes. There's Roden. He's, you know, super nice dude. You know, if you asked him for it, if you needed help with it, he was available no matter what. We were stuck in Pitt, out towards Syria, and literally, you know, I ran team lead. Actually, I had a team leader who just wasn't there, so I ran team lead on that. And he was just this little specialist who would go out, and he wasn't even he worked as a counter intel guy versus an interrogator, and so he would just go out and sit on the corner of the Marines, and literally anybody who walked by, they just, you know, hey, how you doing? Talk junk with them, you know, just to get to know people in the city. And I would go out, you know, and do my door-to-doors and stuff, and they would be like, hey, where's Roden? Like I would walk in on these, you know, guys that I know were, you know, dirty, you know, little raggedy dudes, and they would, hey, where's Roden? You know, and like he had like a super relationship with like the Marines, with us, even with the, you know, the people we pick up and I'd have to question, you know.
Yeah.
He had they were like, hey, this dude. And, so when they told me what had happened with him, because we got home, it was like, what? That's complete shock for him, for it to happen to him. He's like, where was this kid hiding this stuff?
Yeah.
Now, Toby held out longer. He 2-3 years after we got back.
Yeah.
He was my security detail, and that was his job. He's just this little tiny security dude. He worked as an MP for us. He held my door when I had people in, and he's just if he was going to shoot someone, I could see that. Just a grumpy little dude. I watched him. We had a gunny sergeant who decided he was going to try to interrupt one of my questionings with a local, and I heard commotion at my door, and I'm like, all right, I have to tell my interpreter, we're going to stop here for a second. I go check the door. He's got this Marine gunny, at the end of a rifle going, you can't go in there. I'm like, dude, what's up? He's like, he needs to come. I'm like, all right, he can't come in. Told you, and he was cool with that. But if he ever lost it on somebody else, I could see it. But to end himself, not really him. So I guess in either way, I can't see anybody I've run into so far, anybody I've talked to so far, or who has met or dealt with, suicides in any sort of way. It's always like, there's always those, you do the suicide prevention, especially if you do the reserve gig, once every 2.5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's always signs. And I'm like, I got it. I got what the signs should be, but they're not as clear as you guys put in this training.
Yeah.
And again, I'll keep referring back to my wife because, it's what she does. She did counseling for the Marines at Lejeune, and they told her up front, they're like, most people who work in therapy like this, they have to kind of, if they have a suicide. In your case, when you get a suicide.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, it's expected with us, and that's kind of, why you said PTSD. I'm like, it's not really me, but, I watch how this works. I'm like, I still need to be part of this, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. It's interesting to think, or PTSD, it doesn't care about race, it doesn't care about age, doesn't care about anything like that.
It's when it's watching people get lost in like the lyric things that, people getting lost inside their heads.
Yeah.
Again, I've been to therapists. The one guy who went, you're not PTSD, you do have anxiety, you do have stress.
Right.
Yeah.
But the whole reason I got, talked into going there, again, somebody had to convince me to go there, being my bride. It was because I got stopped in the closet. I'm in the closet. I'm dead asleep. I'm stuffing stuff in a rucksack. Where are you going? What? Where the hell am I? Were you having a dream? No. I feel like I need to go somewhere, but literally woken up in action to go somewhere. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it gets kind of hard when something like that happens. So I can only imagine for people with actual PTSD, where it's these nightmares and, that you're stuck in that.
Yeah.
I'm not even stuck in, it's terrifying. I'm stuck in it's go. It's time to go. It's time to do this, and it's hard to shut that down. So having it be nightmarish recall of actual horrible events, I can see where it goes wrong and why it goes so quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the only thing really, I guess nightmares or say that I had when I first get back was just hearing those mortar alarms. Again, I kept hearing those stupid things, and I know that happened to us a lot over there.
Yeah. You reminded me. Yeah, it was bad the first year, and especially when I went to the fireworks. I really thought that wasn't going to bother me, but the impact, or like the mortar impact sounds, when they used the base area, especially the holidays. Of course, they love messing with us on the holidays.
Yeah.
So when I I remember going to the first fireworks. I held it in like a champ. I clenched, I grabbed my knuckles, and I know my wife wanted to go, and I was like, all right. I kind of like grinded my teeth, but I was like, that's when I started realizing there's something wrong with me.
Yeah.
But then again, pride, I kind of rubbed it off. So I pushed it to the side. But now I have to say, years later, I'm a whole lot better with the fireworks. But yeah, the motors, I didn't really get the nightmares, but I got if something reminded me, it was like almost a deja vu.
Mm-hmm.
Then it would turn me to a different person. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's why for me, my own opinion, I mean, I'm not, I feel like it affects us in like different levels of it, and that's the scary part about it, and I think like this, what we're doing is good for us. It's like a session for us that we're opening up to into each other. And I think personally it helps us because it's making me feel good to talk to you, Mike, and I haven't talked to you so long.
I know,
and
man.
The fellow battle buddy right there, it's like therapy session for us, and it's stuff that I think veterans are only type of people to understand us are other veterans and our wives, So this is why I feel like this is a great idea.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to bring.
They kind of get stuck in there, though. Poor wives.
Yeah, and our wives are champs. I mean, they deserve all the credit in the world for sure.
It took her a while, but she said she realized I can't even talk. She finally realized what she was dealing with. So
yeah, my wife too. She was like, I don't know how I can deal with this, but now that we look back on it, we're like, man.
I'm glad she never walked away. That's what I got. Because most women nowadays, see you later, bud.
Ain't got the tolerance for it. Yeah, I do. Like I said, poor Steph, because she does the therapy stuff. That's what she does.
That's awesome.
She mentioned the PhD for psychology.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if she's got something, and it's funny because on her doctoral, I'm like, I'm gonna end up being your thesis, your dissertation case, because literally she's like, so what is it like when? And I'm like, why are you asking me? Because you know this.
Yeah.
You know this. This is your experiences. I just need to find out how they similar to this and what kind of questions to ask.
Yeah.
And I guess she's kind of learned from me, that how I think, how other veterans kind of think. If you ask us a question, it's going to get answered the way we think it's best answered. That whole, how should I answer it versus what's the actual answer?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to seem like, you don't want to come off seeming like, you're whiny about it or things like that, So she's learned, be specific in your questioning.
Yeah.
Understand, like the poor therapist that actually, because she can't be my therapist, poor therapist that actually deals with me though, calls her in afterwards and goes, all right, now answer these questions for me, and compares notes on me because she knows Steph's going to answer it the same answer I have, but she's not going to minimize it. Like I've noticed, if I talk to Mike or anybody else, we minimize the issues. It's like, no, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, you hit it right on. Yeah.
So to kind of, I know we've kind of talked about a lot of stuff, but if one at a time, if you were to speak to someone who was going through something like this right now and hadn't sought help yet, what would be your advice to them on what they should do or how they should go about it?
I'll go first. How I deal with talking to other veterans or anybody, I try not to come off. I tell them my problems. I open up. I feel like this is the best way for them to understand me, to let them know that I got an issue as well. And by letting them open it up to them, it sometimes allows them to open the door for so they someone's knocking on my door. Sorry. Hey, come back. I'm doing a video right now. So I'll explain my problems, my issues first, and hopefully that helps them open up to me. But I tell them, man, if you got the resources for counseling or anything, seek it. And we'll try to have like little therapy sessions between one-on-one.
Yeah.
And, but seek help, bro. Open up, because honestly, holding all these problems inside and anger is you're a ticking time bomb right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be my best advice. That's how I handle it. Like when someone tells me they got an issue,
Yeah.
listen, man. Just listen to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, no, I'll agree with that. I won't really dump to them, but I'll listen. And just because of the situation with Roden and Toby, complete surprise me. I don't care how many warning signs people tell me you got. There are warning signs. Maybe it's a personality issue. I don't see them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, go ahead, tell me what you got. At the same time, I'll probably drag you across the room. I need you to talk to somebody, and please. I guess the only thing I can do, because again, I'm not the biggest fan of dumping all my stuff on somebody else, is, it's not that big of a deal to share it with somebody, so at least someone knows, we can work on the how to make it better later, but let someone know. Because that's, to me, with the other guys, that's my biggest issue. Like, could I have known? I might have.
Yeah.
Do I know better? Maybe.
Yeah.
I deal with someone who works with people with our issues all the time. I'm like, how do I not see this stuff? I got my personality is different than other people's, but so I'm happy to be like, I hate to throw you in somebody else's and go, here's your problem, but I'm walking with you. I will drag you to there and go, all right, that's somebody for you to talk to.
Right on.
And me, I guess if I were to give advice, it would be kind of the same way. Get help. Don't keep it to yourself. Don't fight the battle with yourself, because you're not going to win. As someone that has struggled with depression already in my life, and then compounded by going to Iraq and coming back and being suicidal and coming close to committing suicide, get help, because that's the best thing that you'll ever do for yourself is to get help. Would be my advice for sure.
Yeah.
No.
Amen. That's right.
So, well, this has been great. Really enjoyed this. I thank you guys so much for doing this. This is going to help a lot of people and maybe open up some conversations that maybe wouldn't have gotten started before. But before I let you guys go, is there any lasting thoughts that you would like to share before we go?
Oh,
I try not to, but just take care of yourselves. That's what I got for people.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually great. Try to get a hobby doing quarantine. I've turned myself to a Mr. Fixer-Upper. YouTube is great to learn things. Try to keep yourself occupied and try to stay away from the media. Try not to get yourself scared and cause more issues. And try to find the light in the darkness, man, that we're going through right now. Call somebody, check on somebody. Just stay busy, stay motivated.
Yeah.
That's the only piece of advice I got for him right now.
Okay. I guess mine would be, music is my therapy. So I learned to play guitar and sing and stuff. And so that's been the greatest thing in the world that's helped me with when I'm going through something, man. I can pick up the guitar, play something and just kind of get lost. But just like you said, find a hobby, find something you're passionate about, find something that you love. And let that be your therapy. Let that help you. Definitely talk to somebody, but also have something that can help you for sure. And me personally, my faith is what has sustained me and continues to sustain me. My relationship with Jesus Christ. That's my cornerstone and that's my foundation. So, yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah, definitely. Your church definitely helped me a lot, man. That's
for sure.
I got to stay focused, but that definitely helps, man.
Yeah. Leaves a guitarist, or you still play? Yeah,
I still do. I have a young kid I'm working with now, and a bunch of Legos between me and the kids. So
Yeah.
new stuff.
All right, fellas, brothers, really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do this. Definitely don't take that for granted. And I hope that maybe we can do this again someday, but hopefully this conversation will impact somebody and make a difference. So thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good seeing you. Once again, this has been Iron Mike, Missionary Guitars. Have a good day. Bye. Have a good day.
All right, see you later, Battles.
Later.